The Satavahana Empire was a key ancient Indian dynasty. It ruled over a large part of the Indian subcontinent for over 400 years. This period was from around the 1st century BCE to the 3rd century CE. As one of the longest ruling empires in Indian history, the Satavahanas made a lasting impact. They influenced the region's culture, architecture, and trade networks. Their legacy shaped Southeast Asian history. This article will explore the Satavahana Empire's history. We'll look at its origins, the rise and reign of its rulers, and its architectural and artistic achievements. We'll also discuss its thriving trade and commerce, and how it eventually declined. Introduction to the Satavahana Empire. The Satavahana Empire was a key part of ancient India's history. It started in the Deccan region and became powerful in the 1st century BCE. They ruled over central, northern, and southern India for over 400 years. At their peak, the Satavahanas controlled land from the Krishna River in the south to the Narmada River in the north. This made them one of the largest empires in ancient India. Their rule was known for a strong administration, a booming economy, and a rich culture. They ruled for many centuries, covering a huge part of India. This brief look at the Satavahana Empire shows their grandeur and lasting impact on the region. The rise of the Satavahanas. The Satavahana dynasty started in the Deccan region in the 1st century BCE. Simukha founded the kingdom by defeating the last Shunor ruler. Later, rulers like Gautamiputra Satakani and Yajnashri Satakani grew the empire. They made the Satavahana dynasty a major power in India. The Satavahanas became strong by controlling a large area. They were good at ruling and fighting. Their rule brought growth in trade, commerce, and culture. Many scholars have looked into the Satavahana dynasty's beginnings and growth. They've studied its politics, society, and culture. The Satavahanas' impact on India's history is still felt today. Influential rulers of the Satavahana Empire. The Satavahana Empire had many important rulers. Gautamiputra Satakani is known as one of the greatest. He expanded the empire and defeated invaders, making the Satavahanas very powerful. Yajnashri Satakani kept the empire prosperous during his time. Other key rulers like Pulumavi, Vasisthiputra Pulamavi, and Vijaya also made a big impact. They helped the Satavahanas become a major force in ancient India. These rulers were key in shaping the empire. Their achievements are still studied by historians. They are a big part of the Satavahana royal dynasty's legacy. Architecture and art during the Satavahana era. The Satavahana Empire was a time of great art and architecture in India. The Satavahanas supported Buddhism and built many stupas, monasteries, and cave temples. The famous Ajanta and Ellora caves are examples of their work. Satavahana art and sculptures also thrived. The stone carvings, bronzes, and frescoes from this time show their artistic skill. Their sculptures are known for their beauty and detail, showing the Buddhist faith and the empire's culture. The Satavahanas also supported Buddhist monuments like the Ajanta and Ellora caves. These cave complexes, with their beautiful frescoes and sculptures, show the empire's love for the arts. They had a lasting impact on the region's culture. Trade and commerce in the Satavahana Empire. The Satavahana Empire was a bustling center of trade and commerce. It thrived both within the Indian subcontinent and across the Indian Ocean. The Satavahanas set up wide-ranging maritime trade connections. They traded with the Roman Empire, Southeast Asia, and East Africa. Inland trade routes, like the Uttarapatha and Dakshinapatha, also grew under Satavahana rule. These routes helped move goods, ideas, and cultural influences across the region. Satavahana trade and commerce were key to the empire's wealth. The Satavahanas used their strategic location and strong infrastructure to lead in ancient world trade. Maritime trade brought in spices, textiles, gems, and metals. Inland routes carried agricultural products, handicrafts, and other resources. The Satavahana Empire's economic success came from its strong trade and commerce. The Satavahanas controlled key trade routes and built good relationships with trading partners. This greatly boosted the region's economic prosperity during their rule. The Satavahana Empire's legacy. The Satavahana Empire's legacy still shapes India's culture and politics today. This ancient dynasty left a lasting impact on art, architecture, literature, and regional power. Their influence is still felt across the subcontinent. The Satavahanas were big supporters of Buddhism. Their support led to the creation of famous sites like the Ajanta and Ellora caves. These sites show the Satavahanas' skill in art and engineering. The Satavahanas also helped develop the Sanskrit language and literature. They promoted this classical tongue, which helped literary traditions flourish. This solidified their cultural influence on the region. Economically, the Satavahana Empire's trade networks and wealth paved the way for future empires. Their legacy in commerce and stability is still remembered in Indian history. It highlights the Satavahanas' lasting political impact. The Satavahana Empire's decline. The Satavahana Empire ruled the Deccan region for centuries before it fell in the 3rd century CE. Several factors contributing to Satavahana decline led to the end of Satavahana rule in India. Power struggles and the rise of local leaders weakened the empire's center. The influence of the Vakatakas and Chalukyas in the Deccan region was a big challenge. The Satavahanas also faced threats from the Kushanas in the north and the Pallavas in the south. By the late 3rd century, the Satavahana Empire had been replaced by smaller kingdoms, marking its decline despite their long reign. Internal strife, regional power struggles, and invasions led to their fall. The collapse of this ancient dynasty opened the door for new powers in the Deccan and beyond. Archaeological discoveries and inscriptions. The Satavahana Empire's history shines through archaeological finds and inscriptions across India. Excavations at places like Amravati, Nagarjunakonda, and Shravanabelagol have uncovered many artifacts. These discoveries give us a glimpse into their art and culture. One key find is the Satavahana inscriptions, found in the Nasik and Kanheri caves. These inscriptions help us understand the timeline of Satavahana rule. They also show how they interacted with other powers. These inscriptions reveal a lot about their politics, economy, and society. The Satavahana Empire's legacy is clear from the archaeological evidence. The artifacts and buildings found at these sites